The following is a special presentation of iRacing on LSRTV, your home for sim racing.
Live tonight from the Five Flags Speedway, it is the Lions Club 100 with the Outlaw Modified Series here tonight on LSRTV. Tonight in the booth, I'm Austin Coop. Alongside me is going to be Gary Weaver, and then we have Cisco Scarmoose, as always, bringing the picture each and every week to you on LSRTV. And welcome to the booth. And Gary, we have another round of jam-packed action. It's going to be the 6th or 7th. Yeah, it's going to be the 7th race of the season. And after this, these guys only have 4 races left. They've got Southern National, South Boston, Lanier, and then Lanier, and then you've got New Smyrna right off the corner. Really not that much of a not much schedule left for these guys, and it's been a really fun series to watch. And this track is a lot like the last track, which was Myrtle Beach. It had a lot of drivers that were having some handling issues. We're probably going to see that today, but this is a really fun racetrack to watch these guys at.
Personally, I've never really been to Five Flags Speedway in iRacing, but it's definitely going to be interesting to see how, like you said, with the handling of these modifieds, it sounds like they've been having a little bit of trouble, so they may be getting loose off either turn 4 or turn 2. That's what I'm going to be expecting. So it's going to be interesting to see how, like I said, how these handle, and it just looks absolutely amazing at night as well.
Yeah, this track does look pretty awesome at night. It's definitely one of the tracks that when you talk about short track racing, it's one of the more fun ones to look at. So we'll take a look at your point standings. Stefan Alphonse still leads, or he now leads. He only was behind by 1 point last week. Now he's up by 2 over J.R. Shepard, 6 points over Brian Dean. Donnie Moore, he's up by 7. Then you got Matt Shinowski, John Holcomb, Lowell Jewell, Dustin Powers, Kenny Kibbe, and you see the rest on your screen right there. A lot of drivers still in the mix of it. I mean, we have 5 drivers within 10 points of each other, and you still have 4 races left in the season after tonight, and it's going to be a race where we're going to be seeing quite a bit of action that determines whether we who the champion's going to go to.
Yeah, it's a really tight battle for the championship, as we will be going to the race in just a few moments. 100 laps. It's going to be a quick 100 laps too. I'm expecting probably about 30 to 40 minutes, but it's going to be interesting to see how these guys will be battling, making their way through the entire race, especially with these points. And it's going to be a really tight battle, as it's really tight battle in the points between at least the top 5.
And so we will take a look at where your drivers are going to start tonight. Right behind tonight's race car in this one, we're going to have the pole position. Looks like it's going to go to James Lowe, at least at the moment. Yeah, or it's going to go to Mike Holloway. He's going to start in the first position with Kenny Kibbe. He's going to start on the outside row tonight. You can see them already gridded. And then starting in the 3rd position, Matt Shinowski with Mike Allen starting in the 4th position. And then you've got J.R. Shepard starting 5th.
Starting in 6th and 7th will be James Lowe and Stefan Alphonse, respectively. Brian Dean will be starting in 8th and number 23. The 73 of Jeff Sharp is going to be starting in 9th, and running out the top 10 is going to be number 26 of Donnie Moore.
Starting 11th is going to be Chip Dickert, with Lowell Jewell starting on his outside in 12th position. Then you'll have John Holcomb starting 13th. 14th is John Liston. The 15th position goes to Erik Nordhoff. Ryan Detzler will start in 16th position, and then Greg Stafford, he will start from the last position starting on the field. That will be 17th tonight. So that's going to look at your LSRTV starting grid here tonight. And we will see the pace car duck off, not this time, but the very next time.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you forgot that short tracks have 2 pace laps, but this time by, if the lights were on, that would be actually really useful if we had lights on for the first pace lap. But nonetheless, this time by, we will be going green.
Going through turns 1 and 2, we will have to see what these guys are capable of here at this track. It's a lot wider in Myrtle Beach in some ways, but in other ways it's a lot narrower, especially out of the corners. You get a little bit more leeway than others than last week. So glad to have you here on LSRTV. We'll be watching this 100 lap race here at the Five Flag Speedway for the Lions Club 100, and they are off and way. Green flag here on the speedway. Mike Holloway, he will get a fantastic jump over the rest of the field. No one's even close to him as we go side by side in the corners.
Battle for third between J.R. Shepard on the bottom and Kenny Kibbe in the 14. Well, Kenny Kibbe's already fallen back 2 positions off the start, but of course 99 more laps remain. As right behind them now, it's going to be the 73 of Jeff Sharp and the 59 of James Lowe. Sorry, the 59 of... That's Mike Allen on the high side. He's going to be stuck on the high side, falling back, and Kibbe once again stuck on the high side. Nonetheless, everybody else is single file throughout the entire rest of your field.
Look at that on the outside. It looks like Jeff Sharp in the number 73 machine. He's trying to get, or the 14 on the outside, Kenny Kibbe. He started from second. He's kind of stuck up there, and Jeff Sharp's on the bottom of the track right there, and he's trying to get a big advantage of him here in the first few laps of the corner here. He's almost clear of him. He's actually going to be clear of him right there, and a good pass by him right there. He's going to be able to get there, and this is a very good start to this race for these guys. We've had some trouble in the last couple of races, but this is very good for them, and this is what I think they really needed to see, as they had a little bit of a few moments there. But everyone gets single filed out, and they'll start to chip away, see what their tires are able to do in the long run. And yeah, single file throughout this entire field, and actually that's not going to be quite true. It looks like the number 88 just passed the number 22 of Erik Sanford, or Nordhoff, I should say. And now we are all the way single file within 5 laps of the thing. That's pretty quick here tonight, and with 100 laps of action, like you said, with these guys at this rate, it'll be a quick race. So these guys really have to be moving quickly.
Yeah, everybody's trying to figure out where they're best at, and they want to get to where they can as soon as possible. And well, so far that looks like it, unless you're Kenny Kibbe in the 14. In that case, you've dropped from 2nd to 7th. At least I believe he started 2nd. Yes, he did. So unfortunately, about 4 to 5 positions lost, but nonetheless, at least he didn't fall back any further, as looks like we have a little bit of a gap between the 13 of Stefan Alphonse and the 73 of Jeff Sharp. So looks like we have our fast 4 drivers, and Jeff Sharp maybe doesn't really have the momentum as of yet, but it's going to take a while for him to get up to speed, or at least a little bit faster, and have him find his own line.
We've got this little pack here in around the 10th position. Let's start with Mike Allen here in the number 59 machine, or yeah, it starts with the number 59, and he's kind of just leading these guys away. They're about 3 seconds off the leader of Mike Holloway, who's actually looks like he's being caught right now, just a little bit by Matt Shinowski, like we just talked about a little bit earlier. But right now, that second group was pretty clustered together as the number 88 gets on the inside. This I can't read the numbers as well. It's a 69. That's not 2 8s. It's a 6 and a 9. So double L for me. But the 04 of Chip Dickert did not let him get on the bottom to pass him right there. So the 69 machine, that is going to be John Holcomb. He's trying to get that position right now.
Yeah, John's a bit eager, and maybe he's a little bit too eager, as looks like the 59 Mike Allen was a little bit out of the groove in turns 3 and 4. He does keep it straight. Actually, looks like he's running a little bit of a higher line going into the corners. It's really interesting to see that. So probably trying his own way to save some tires. Yeah, he's running the middle lane in turns 3 and 4, then coming down a little bit higher, about 2 feet off the line that the 04 is running right behind him.
So yeah, these guys getting very clumped together, and I think I've heard someone hit the wall fairly hard, but I don't think anything has come of it. Maybe that was Lowell Jewell in 17th place right now, but right now it is a very calm race, at least right now. They're very close to each other, and I think I saw the 14 of Kenny Kibbe get really close to the 03, but here's our first caution of the night.
Chip Dicker.
And Chip Dicker, we just talked about him, and maybe, like we were talking about, someone got into the corner a little bit too much and pushed him up. Yeah, that's it. Looks like that might be it. 69 got him.
Yeah, replay is getting sorted out right now, but looks like, oh goodness, 4 cars involved. Hello, number 22 barely managed to scoot by on that one, but yeah, it looks like just a little bit too eager too early, and unfortunately getting a piece of that is both Todd Liston and the 88 of Greg Stafford.
So we're going to get a few looks at it here on the replay, but this will reset these guys here, and like Mike Holloway will continue to lead these guys under caution as we are 4 laps and 17 or 4 minutes and 7 laps into this thing. We're going to be right back here on LSRTV with a quick commercial break. You won't want to miss it.
Racing, you wanted the best, you got them for abreast. Often imitated, never duplicated. The greatest show on dirt, the world of Outlaws.
Back here live at Five Flag Speedway, a little bit of technical difficulties, and in the meantime, a different voice on top of the racetrack. I'm Gabriel Wood, filling in for Austin Coop. He did have to run, but Gary Weaver still up here in the booth watching some modified action, closing in on a quarter distance so far tonight's race, Gary. Looks like we got some side-by-side racing for the first time in a long time with these modifieds. We've been on some very flat tracks here early in the schedule, but now as we get into the meat of the Outlaw Modified Tour schedule, these guys are getting on some higher bank speedways.
Yeah, 73 of Jeff Sharp and the 13 of Stefan Alphonse. They're doing battle right now for that 4th place position, and right behind them it's going to be Kenny Kibbe. He fell back all the way to 7th after starting in 2nd in the opening laps, but right now he's going to be taking advantage of Stefan Alphonse's high lane disadvantage, and a little bit of a stack up it looks like from the 73, but nonetheless they are still going forward, and so far no contact between them as the 13 is still trying to hang on to that outside lane.
Alphonse may have a hole here if he can fill it, and he does, so he's going to pull in front of the 50 machine. Excuse me, the 59 machine of Mike Allen in that 8th place position. So Stefan Alphonse started 7th, now in 7th. Now in the solid in that 7th position. Up in front of him, Jeff Sharp being moved to the outside lane by Kenny Kibbe, so move him into the 4th spot. The 73 machine of Jeff Sharp now down back to 5th, and it's a big gap, almost a full second and a half between your leaders and this little battle for the top 4. It's Mike Holloway continuing to pull away with J.R. Shepard and Matt Shanoski in tow.
Yeah, we had that little bit of a gap with the top 4 coming through in the opening laps as well, so it's really interesting to see that these 3 can pull away, and then we have everybody else right behind them in their own pack, and we actually have pretty much 2 packs, if you will. One of them is what we've been looking at with Kenny Kibbe, and pretty much all the way back up until looks like 11th or so. Brian Dean is stuck in between them. Second one begins with Erik Nordhoff, and then goes from Todd Liston all the way back as Looks like John Holcomb is having some problems. He's heading to pit road right now.
Holcomb has come to pit road for the second time now, as he was already gone one lap down. Looks like he's going to bring that 69 machine down into his pit box for a second time tonight. So not what that number 69 driver wanted here in the early going. Looks like he's going to come in. Will he keep going out here on the racetrack? Still, Mike Holloway continuing to lead 1, 2, and 3. J.R. Shepard and Matt Shinosky. That Hooters machine is looking pretty fast here in the early going here. Gary, I'd like to ask you, is anything really you'd like to catch me up on here, as I didn't exactly get here in time?
Honestly, not really. We've actually been just sitting here watching and just a little bit of side-by-side battles, although within the first 5 laps we were single file pretty quickly, as right now we have a battle between the 59 and the 73, as well, now Jeff Sharp is stuck up on the high side.
Yep, that's going to put Mike Allen up into the 7th position. And Donnie Moore now in that black and orange number 25, or excuse me, 26 machine is now to the inside of Jeff Sharp. So going to turn number 3. And it looks like right behind them, the 23 machine of Brian Dean. He's your last driver inside the top 10. And that'll be what your battle concludes with this, because Sharp continuing to lose spots here. So, you know, we've seen this on the flat tracks here in the early schedule, Gary. Guys get moved to the outside, they start falling back. Well, usually you don't have that happen on a flat track, because there's nowhere really for that driver to go, and there's no way for a driver to get to the inside. Here, you keep the momentum up. They're only losing about 10 to 20 miles an hour here in the corners. But out here on the racetrack, if you get a guy to the position himself on the inside, you can slide to the back, just like we saw Jeff Sharp moving from inside the top 5 all the way to in danger of moving outside the top 10.
Yeah, it's terrible for Jeff Sharp, but on the bright side for him, though, at least he's near his starting position. Unfortunately, 1 position down, he started 9th, but of course it's going to take a while for him probably to figure out what line he can run. I believe I've mentioned that earlier as well, but right now it's just not working out for him, as we're only 36 laps in, working lap 36, coming to 37 in just a few moments as well, so that race has gone by pretty quickly.
John Holcomb's come out of the pit area, now 4 laps down. He's trailing just behind your leaders of the 00 of Matt Shinosky, along with J.R. Shepard and Mike Holloway. Those 3 drivers continuing to show the way here. Now a 2.5 plus in front of Kenny Kibbe, who is actually broken away from drivers like James Lowe and Stefan Alphonse. Those guys are starting to figure each other out. And Kenny Kibbe's actually starting to reel in your top 3 bit by bit. Now the question is, if we don't get a caution here, is it going to be enough?
It might. If Kenny Kibbe can stay consistent. Oh, no, he's going to spin off hard into the inside. Oh, my goodness. No caution, surprisingly, as of yet. Now it's out. That
yep, he was stuck to the inside wall, so he had to back up, and that triggered the caution. I'm looking here. Oh, it looks like here's we're going to get the replay up. The 14 machine, he dove off into turn number 3, and he had a good entry, but as he went to get back to the gas, he actually ran on the apron. It's kind of hard to see here in that dark spot in turn number 4 here, Gary. Whenever they hit that apron, these cars unload, and it just set that number 14 machine right around.
Yeah, you can see it there right at the moment slow motion is activated. You can just see he almost saved it. He saves it right here, and then he just loses it again, and hard contact in the inside wall. The left front is crushed in right now. That front bar is pretty bent up right now, and well, he's going to make his way to pit road and probably leave the race, because that's just, I don't know if he can still race with that. He hit that left front really hard to the inside.
He does have 1 fast repair. Does he still have it? He's been running up front here. Not sure if he's had any damage here or that made him come to pit road, but he's still running in the 16th position, and if he hurries up here, he will not lose a lap. Looks like he's going to get that fast repair, get a brand new car, and go back out on the racetrack, and he's going to be well on the lead lap. So he's still got a chance at this, but he's got to start passing cars, and as we've seen here in these modifieds, it takes a lot of skill to make a pass.
Yeah, especially at, like you said, flat tracks, and if you can somehow get past down on the outside, that would be really interesting. But unless we are under caution, and of course Kenny Kibbe does have at least a second chance of reeling in the top 3 and catching up, at least on the bright side for him, he knows what not to do now, what line to not run.
So update on your top 10. Mike Holloway continues to lead in that Hooters number 31. J.R. Shepard in 2nd. Matt Shinosky in 3rd. James Lowe in 4th. Stefan Alphonse in 5th. And that'll round out your top 5 there. Mike Allen Donnie Moore, Brian Dean, Jeff Sharp, and Greg Stafford round out your top 10 here in the Lions Club 100, closing in 7 laps from halfway.
Looks like John Holcomb is going to get his wave around, so now he will be 3 laps down once he crosses the start-finish line. And I believe we will be going green in at least 1 more caution lap. I believe the lights will be going off this time by as the field is rolling off turn number 4. Meanwhile, Mike Holloway has been in the lead since, I'm honestly not sure, I believe ever since that first caution was out. So props to him for that. Pace car coming across the start-finish line. Lights are out. Double file is going to be the field as we will be going green in just a few moments.
Lining them up 2 by 2, 16 cars in the lead lap from Mike Holloway back to Kenny Kibbe. And now John Holcomb. If he can get a few more cautions here, Gary, he will be back on the lead lap, which I know he would love to have happen, as that 69 machine now 3 laps down in 17th. Started 13th, so he had some promise to start the evening, but unfortunately not going to come to fruition if he doesn't get some luck here. Mike Holloway in control of the restart as they come off of turn number 4. Going to restart here on lap number 44. Looks like the outside lane didn't get a good restart here, and that's actually going to put Shinosky back into 3rd. Put the 98 machine now. J.R. Shepard to the inside. Almost had a nose there, but he pulls it back in. And we're going to keep single file here. Top 4 now breakaway as they're 2 by 2 for 4.
Got side by side all over the track. Main one being for the lead on the inside. It's going to be the 98 J.R. Shepard. He's now in the lead. Meanwhile, right behind them, it's going to be a battle between the number 26 and the 03. That is Donnie Moore and James Lowe. James Lowe didn't really get a good start on that restart. Now he gets to the inside, dives it, squeezes in. That was a close call, but luckily he does manage to keep it clean. That is an amazing skill as a modified driver right there.
That's going to put Mike Allen to the outside lane. He's now battling with the 23 of Brian Dean as they come out of turn number 4. 3 laps till halfway as J.R. Shepard, he continues to show the way. Got around Mike Holloway as we saw there, so can he keep it? Or does Mike Holloway get a little bit aggressive and use that Nerf bar to get around that number 98 machine?
Really, really close packed right now as everyone's once again still just trying to figure out where to go. You can see it from the front bumper of Mike Holloway's nose right now as looks like we have that gap is forming once again between 4th and 5th. That's between Stefan Alphonse and Donnie Moore. Way on the high side in the back though, I'm seeing is Ryan Detzler. I'm not sure if he has a problem or not, but he is running the high lane, the middle lane I should say. So I'm not sure if this is a strategy or something's broke on his car.
I saw him jump to the high side there a few laps ago. I think he just got forced out there. We've seen that time and time again here. Update on Kenny Kibbe. He's now up into well, he was in 15th. Now he's back into the 16th spot. So he's your last driver on the lead lap, and he's trying to work his way back through. Focus your way back up front. J.R. Shepard continues to show the way now, pulling a gap on the 31 machine of Mike Holloway. Now, with this green flag run and Stefan Alphonse being up front, he's shown that he has a little bit of speed. You gotta remember that he was mired back in traffic earlier in the race, Gary, and the leaders ended up pulling away by about 2.5 seconds. Well, now he's right up there with these guys and ready to pounce if anybody makes a mistake. Looks like Jeff Shepard in the 73 machine. Looks like, or excuse me, not Shepard, Sharp in the number 73 machine. He gets moved up to the outside lane, so he's going to lose a few spots there. Looks like he's going to move back into, looks like the 9th position behind Mike Allen.
Looking at the top 4, and it looks like the one that's going to be in biggest advantage, at the least in very form of points, is going to be J.R. Shepard. You came into this race minus 2 points from Stefan Alphonse, who has 58 points. Stefan Alphonse is currently sitting in 4th, so 2 positions up is going to be J.R. Shepard. Of course, Brian Dean, a little bit farther back. He's over in 5th place right now, just behind Stefan Alphonse. And oh goodness, getting the nose from James Lowe. A little bit of a hello, I'm here. At least that's what it appeared to be. Luckily, no major form of contact, and pretty much right on top of that back bumper is going to be Brian, it's going to be the number 50 now, yeah, 23 of Brian Dean.
Now the way I'm looking at James Lowe's car there in the 03, that red and white and black machine, at least the way I'm seeing it right now, that 03, look, he's not coming off the corner. He did get off a little bit better that time, but the time before he had to hug that inside lane, he actually didn't come off the line or come off of turn number 2 with that much speed. So it looks like the 03 kind of starting to hurt a little bit here on the long runs here. As the 23 machine of Brian Dean, you just talked about him. He's trying to make that move to the inside lane to try and take over the 6th spot. But it's not going to happen right now. That's actually going to allow Mike Allen, as these guys try and run side by side, or at least they're attempting to. That 23 is having to check up there on the low lane. He's not getting a good exit, and that's letting Mike Allen back into the picture.
Yeah, something that Dean doesn't really want to have happen to him right now is, of course, these laps are ticking away fairly quickly. Just in a couple of laps, actually, next time around, I should say, once we cross the start-finish line. We'll have 40 laps to go in this race, only about 21 minutes, 50 seconds of laps right now, but, of course, as they cross the line is when they will get that. Right now, we have 40 laps to go, time of 19 minutes, 35 seconds, and counting. So, of course, J.R. Shepherd in the lead right now. Matt Shinowski in 3rd. Mike Callaway in 2nd in that number 31. Stefan Alphonse, he's caught between a little bit of, I'd say, 2 packs, if you will. 2 3-car packs. Maybe 4th one right behind him if Mike Allen can manage to catch up there.
The driver I'm really pulling for here to have a really good showing, and he's actually doing it right now, is Bashanovsky in the 00, a number close to my heart. But, you know, he's had a lot of tough luck here in the Outlaw series early in the season. He had a good run at Martinsville and ended up getting wrecked out, and that's really been the story of his entire season. But if he can come home and get a podium, or if he can find a little bit of speed here in the late going in the final 35 laps and walk away with a victory, well, that would just turn his season right around.
Yeah, it would benefit him greatly, especially since he's 10 points out of, again, that point lead. So, of course, I believe J.R. Shepherd and Matt Shinowski, they might be the new top 2 after this, after this race. I'm honestly not 100% sure, but Stefan Alphonse is running in 4th. So, of course, something can always happen. And, of course, everyone's just trying to figure out where to go, probably waiting until the right moment to make a move, as we have... well, pretty much 4th all the way to 8th. They're right up against each other, and of course Mike Allen lurking if something happens, but he's 4th through 8th. These two are right on top of their back bumpers.
Watch a move here from Donnie Moore on the 13 machine to Stefan Alphonse. He's starting to show the nose a little bit more each lap, and I'm starting to see him start tracking him down just a little bit. We've seen the 13 machine have some speed in the early going, but it looks like he's falling way back from your top 3. It looks like it's starting to stack up the guys behind him, the 03 and the 23 machine of James Lowe and Brian Dean. Looks like he's trying to show the nose here. If he can get a good run coming off of either turn 4 or turn 2, he'll be able to get the launch to get on the inside of the 13 machine, but it's just not happening right now. As the 23 gets spun sideways, caution is out. He was racing with, looks like the 59 machine of Mike Allen. No, it was the 03 to the outside of him. And caution is out. We'll get the replay for you. Looks like the 03 machine actually opened the door just a little bit, and the 23 went to take it. Well, he went on the flat part of the racetrack and that D-wedge of the car. Same thing we saw with the 14 machine at Kitty Kibbe, and that ended up spinning him around. This time, no damage for the 23.
Yeah, and the near avoidance from, I'm going to double check that just to make sure, but like you said, flat part of the apron, just those left side tires, I believe it was that left front tire. That was on the apron on turns 1 and 2. Yep, just caught that apron and got spun around. Nearly avoiding him was the 22 of Erik Nordhoff. He managed to avoid that in time. Of course, he's damage free as of that incident at least. So of course, if you're Stefan Alphonse and you've been seeing the top 3 just have that huge gap, what would you be thinking right now as this as we're coming to a restart here?
Well, I'd have to think 30 laps to go. Go flat out. You know, don't worry about what the guys are doing behind you. Don't worry about what the guys are doing in front of you. With these modifieds and how close they are, it's just going to be a matter of how well you can hit your marks and how well you can get around this racetrack here at Five Flag Speedway. It's a 100-lap event. We're on lap number 71 now. It's a 30 to go. Guys like J.R. Shepherd, all he has to do is nail this restart. And, well, I say that. The 31 machine of Mike Holloway nailed the restart last time by, but the 98 ended up getting to the inside of him and passed him for the lead. So whatever J.R. Shepherd can do to keep the 31 behind him, he's got to do it, especially here in the late going. And if you're Matt Shinowski, this is a good opportunity to get into second and maybe have a shot at that 98 machine.
Yeah, you can use that outside, well, the inside line to your advantage, and of course the outside line to to your opponent's disadvantage as well. So, like you said, if he can stay just behind J.R. Shepherd and he'll be fine as John Holcomb is once again getting waved around, so he'll be 2 laps down right now. Of course, he's the only driver that is 1 or more laps down. Luckily for him, if like you said, if he get 2 more cautions, then he'll be back on the lead lap. But the rate that we've been seeing, the only cautions that we've been getting is on pretty much opposite ends of the racetrack, both from turns 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, just from somebody getting on the apron.
Well, you got to remember the last restart was on lap number 30. This one's going to be with 30 laps to go. So guys that are hungry for a victory like Matt Shanoski, and they're hungry for a championship lead because he's had some tough luck, but he's been able to pull away some great finishes, especially with the qualifying system that we have here in the Outlaw Modified Series. I'm seeing Matt Shanoski getting a good restart here and putting the bumper to the 98 machine.
And it's going to be interesting to see how he utilizes this right now, and the pace car going to pull off Ford Mustang GT pace car to its safety of pit road, that hard left-hander. JR Shepherd in the lead on the inside. He's going to go already, and of course to the inside, at least he's trying to. He is. Matt Shanoski is on the inside of Mike Callaway. He's going to battle for that second place position right now. Coming out of turn number 2, side by side is everybody as Matt Shanoski moves to second.
Shanoski, they're going to have to settle this one out quickly because the 98 machine of Shepherd is getting smaller.
Oh, 13 into the wall.
13 up and almost over in turn number 4, but he keeps it going, and somehow that car is still decently competitive. Great job of hanging on to that number 13 machine, that Stefan Alphonse. He's now fighting the 87 machine, trying to stay inside the top 10. Just don't think it's going to happen with the combined hitting the outside wall and being stuck on the outside lane.
How did he keep that thing straight is my question. That is amazing handling right there. Could have been a lot worse provided he didn't keep that under control. Luckily he did, but unfortunately it's going to be a huge disadvantage for him in the points. I believe it's the second week, at least personally, that I've seen him.
Battle for second,
yep.
Battle for second going down
on the high side.
Battle for second going into turn number 3. Shanoski, he opened the door for the 31 machine as he went into turn number 3, and it looks like he's going to bounce along with, let's look at this, Donnie Moore in the number 26 machine. Haven't seen him run up front, but barely inside the top 5, but he's now getting ready to take over a podium position here with 20 laps to go. He's going to push up the racetrack just a little bit. That's going to put the top 0
and we have a wreck in the back too.
Caution is out.
04 and the 14.
Yep, Kenny Kibbe's second incident tonight for the number 14 machine. Looks like as they went into turn number 3, we're going to get the replay up for you. Looks like he just drove it in a little bit too deep. The 04 showed the nose, or excuse me, the 14 showed the nose. Then he just pushed up the racetrack and into the 04.
Yeah, you can see on the replay right there. Again, more bad luck for Kenny Kibbe. He just turns around the 04. Luckily, no one else makes contact, but of course, while that happened, heavy contact for, I believe, was the 00. Just when that caution came out, yeah, it was. So 00 had that same thing happen to him that Stefan Alphonse had, just hard hit to the outside wall, but thankfully Shanoski wasn't the cause of the caution. And you can see it right here, gets forced up, moves up a bit, and heavy contact to the outside wall, still keeps it straight.
Yeah, especially here at Five Flag Speedway, that front straightaway narrows up really quickly. You'll see guys during the Snowball Derby, even during qualifying, they'll hit that outside wall because they run such a fast lap time around here that any sort of deviation from the racing line, well, you lose the grip and you're up into the outside wall. We saw that with the 00 because whenever he had to get out of it just a little bit and turn the wheel back to the right to keep from hitting the 26 machine, well, that had pretty much doomed him to hit the outside wall.
Yeah, as unfortunate as it is, luckily he is still in 4th place, but of course that was at the moment of caution. The real question is, can he still keep that momentum going as of the restarts? I believe we will be getting it in maybe this time. By looking at the pace car right now, lights are still on, so next time around we looks like we'll be getting the 1 to go signal. But of course, we saw what happened with Stefan Alphonse. He's all the way back in 9th right now, and that was just from hitting the pace car. As once again, John Holcomb is going to get waved around the pace car, so he'll be back to 1 lap down. So Stefan Alphonse, of course, a huge disadvantage up in 9th as he has JR Shepherd, he has Erik Dean in front of him, I believe. No, he does not. But of course, JR Shepherd is going to be the one that's going to get this huge advantage in the points.
Looking at the pace car, Lights are out atop the iRacing Ford Mustang GT pace car. So we will go racing again this time by. It'll be with 17 laps to go. J.R. Shepherd's going to be your leader. Mike Holloway, we saw he did not get a good restart last time, and the 00 was able to get to the inside of him. Now, he didn't hang on to it as we saw him hit the outside wall, but 26 machine of Donnie Moore, he may have a chance to make this similar move. If they can get anywhere near close to the 98 machine's back bumper, he may be able to get a tap and move back into the lead. 98 machine's going to back him up. He's going to fire right on the back bumper as a 26 machine. Oh, what a restart for Donnie Moore.
That is perfect for Donnie Moore. 10th to 2nd. That's 8 positions up. Heading onto the outside is going to be Mike Holloway. He's fighting back on the outside as best as he can. The 00 drops back a little bit, forced up was Holloway, but he does manage to keep it off the outside wall, thankfully. And Matt Shanowski, we have a turn. The 03, 13, everyone's going to be involved. Big contact, 4, 5, 6 cars. Huge incident going into turn 1.
That happened from about 5th place on back. It looks like the 03 machine of James Lowe, he went into turn number 1. And the 13 machine was on the inside of him. It looks like he just got tapped by the right front tire, and that sent him sideways. Well, that pretty much blocked everybody back as it sends the 13 sideways.
Yeah, it's a huge incident as we have pretty much 4 cars right there in the replay. 6 hard contact, and goodness, I think about 8 cars made contact with pretty much everybody in the back half of this field. As up in the air, it got the rear end lifted off the ground, was I believe the 87. I can't tell. Yeah, the 87 on top listing his car is pretty much really banged up. Replay again from the chopper camera angle. You can see the run up to it right here, and just, of course, wrong place and wrong time. Of course, he's got the right moment. That's Stefan Alphonse had the right moment. He moved in, but of course, I guess the 03 just didn't expect him to turn in that early, or that soon, I should say. I believe that late, as about 8 cars involved, and oh my goodness, I believe we'll be coming to about 10 laps to go, maybe 11 once we hit the green as well. So this is going to be a really interesting shootout.
A couple of guys we have not talked about, the 22 machine and the 88. It's Erik Nordhoff and Greg Stafford in 6th and 7th. Erik in the 22 machine, he's up from 15th now to 6th, and Greg Stafford from 17th now to 7th. So he's picked up 10 positions. Erik Nordhoff has picked up 9. Those guys doing one heck of a job working their way up through this field. They've had to miss some wrecks here, and they've had to really work on the inside lane to try and pass some of these guys. They're doing a great job. Nordhoff, and especially Greg Stafford, starting in the inside lane, he may have a shot at the top 5.
Yeah, Stafford can play his cars right on this restart coming up in 2 laps as the pace car lights are still on. If he can pull off a top 5, that's going to be amazing for him, as Holcomb is waved around once again. So I believe
that'll put him on the lead lap.
Yeah, Holcomb is back on the lead lap.
I'll tell you what, if we're giving out any secondary awards tonight here, it's got to go to the 69 machine, because he has stayed with it. He's ridden. He was 4 laps down at one point, had to pit under green. Well, he's now with a restart with about 10 laps to go. He's going to be back on the lead lap trying to pick up any positions that he can. But I think all he was fighting for, Gary, throughout the entire race, was just a chance to make up some spots.
Yeah, and luckily he's stuck that out, so the lights on the pace car are out. So, of course, we will be going green with 10 laps to go, a 10-lap shootout. We saw what Donnie Moore could do on the on the inside on that restart. Now we'll see what he can do on the outside, but of course an advantage goes to Matt Shanowski, who's going to be most likely running the back bumper of J.R. Shepherd, heading through turns 3 and 4. The pace car going off to its safety of pit road. Donnie Moore a little bit eager to get going. J.R. Shepherd on. Oh, Donnie Moore's going to jump the start. He goes a little bit too early. J.R. Shepherd goes side by side for first place, and Matt Shanowski is going to clear for third.
Wonder if that's going to be a penalty for the 26 machine. Either way, he's going to get the positions back. Shanowski now to the inside lane. Inside, 10 laps to go. It'll be 9 to go at the line. Shanowski to the inside, trying to take over the runner-up spot. Donnie Moore to the outside. Going to have to wait and see from the race officials post-race if he does get any sort of reprimand for jumping the restart there, but it looks like he's pretty much paying for it now, as he's now moved back into the 3rd spot. Shanowski now moves up into 2nd. the battle continues inside the top 5. Now, how is Stefan Alfons still inside the top 6, now fighting for the top 5?
Didn't he wreck like 3 times? And I don't mean that as an insult. I'm honestly curious. I'm pretty sure he was involved in a wreck about 3 times. That is perseverance right there. That is showing how strong these modifieds are. And I'm not kidding. It's Mike Holloway with a crossover to the inside. He's not done with Stefan Alfons yet. But Alfons is going to be battling on the outside advantage. About half a car length goes to Alfons. That's pretty much the only battle on track as we're coming now with 6 laps to go.
Shinosky able to keep it close here on J.R. Shepherd, but if he wants to have any sort of chance at a victory, he's going to have to step it up and close in by about 3 or 4 car lengths here, 3.5 tenths of a second between first and second. Donnie Moore now in third with Mike Allen in the number 59 machine. Now, how about it for Mike Allen? He was battling outside the top 10 in about 70 laps ago. He's now inside the top 5, doing a great job. And Stefan Alfons' car is spinning sideways. Looks like coming off of turn number 2, and that should end tonight's race. It looks like, oh, the 31 machine of Mike Holloway got spun sideways.
Yeah, looking at the replay right now, into the corner goes Holloway, and it looks like it was just a matter of just one of those racing moments where someone's going low, someone's going high, you just can't really do anything about it. And unfortunately, Holloway gets turn 23, of course, and 22 gets a piece of that. Luckily, he manages to keep it straight. Ooh, a little bit of 3 wide contact between the 03, the 5, and the 73. It's unfortunate that this race is ending under caution, but of course, this, unless you're J.R. Shepherd, then in that case, you're pretty happy. But Stefan Alfons luckily does manage to get that 5th place position. And of course, this race is unfortunately coming to an anticlimactic end under yellow.
Well, I'm pretty sure J.R. Shepherd pretty much had it locked up unless Shinosky had something saved to where he could run out the final 4 laps wide open, because that would have been about the only chance he would have had to catch J.R. Shepherd. Still did a great job hanging on to 3rd for most of the night and then making the move up into 2nd. He did a great job, and hats off to him, especially after hitting the wall very hard and didn't bring out the caution. He actually maintained inside the top 5. He's able to keep it up there and puts it on the 2nd step of the podium.
Yeah, and of course the same goes for the number 13 of Stefan Alfons. He nailed the outside wall about 3 times, somehow didn't flip over, and of course his battle with the 31, I believe it was a 31. There was a lot of action tonight. Of course his battle was simply amazing, and of course he manages to pull off that 5th place position. Of course, unofficially, as of now, of course he still have to wait for that checkered flag as the yellow and white flags are being displayed. Coming across the line at 43, 45 miles an hour is going to be J.R. Shepherd to take the white flag.
Pace car out in front, signifying we will finish this race under caution. And I want to talk about, how about John Holcomb? He just got back on the lead lap after that crash. He finishes 12th. How about that for the number 69 machine? He moves up into the 12th position after being 4 laps down at 1 point in a 100-lap race. I tell you what, that's one heck of a comeback. But J.R. Shepherd going into turn number 3 for the final time. It'll be Shinosky and Moore following suit. The pace car comes off of turn number 4. It'll be the first one to see the checker, but the one going to victory lane tonight in the Lions Club 100 is the 98 machine of J.R. Shepherd.
Fireworks going off right now as J.R. Shepherd is most likely celebrating. He's going to be at the front of the point standings after this. Of course, Stefan Alfons definitely will not be that far behind. It's going to be really interesting to see what happens next week as well. But right now, J.R. Shepherd is your winner tonight. Congratulations to him. He's done an amazing job tonight.
Did one heck of a job along with the 00 machine and Donnie Moore. So Matt Shinosky and the 26 machine of Donnie Moore. These guys drivers get pulled to pit road and J.R. Shepherd gets pulled to victory lane. We're not going to go to commercial, but I would like to ask Gary, you know, these modifieds, they put on a decent show. I mean, you know, it's really a single file affair at most of these racetracks, but these guys put on a decent show in the final half of the race.
Yeah, it was really amazing. As you can see, J.R. Shepherd almost hitting the wall. He's going to play it safe and not try that hard right-hand turn. Turning around to thank the fans, and amazing job once again from him. Amazing performance by everybody. It was an exciting race to watch, as he's most likely going to... Nope, he's just going to park it. All right, I thought I was going to try and do some burnouts on his modified, but he's done an amazing job, so congratulations and well-deserved for him tonight.
Well, with that, let's bring up your LSRTV results. J.R. Shepherd starts the race in 5th and comes home with the win. Matt Shanoski made a great move from 3rd, now into 2nd. And Donnie Moore comes home with the final step on the podium. Mike Allen, Stefan Alphonse, who we had no idea he was going to finish up there, wrecked about 3 or 4 times there in the final 15 laps. I tell you what, he comes home with the top 5, a well-deserved top 5. Brian D and Erik Nordhoff, Kenny Kibbe, a great recovery from spinning from 4th just after halfway. Lowell Jewell and James Lowe ran out your top 10.
Jeff Sharp is going to finish in 11th. John Holcomb, as you've mentioned earlier on the final lap, makes an amazing comeback from 4 laps down, finishes in 12th after being 17th for a majority of the race after pitting under green. Ryan Dessler, 13th. 14th and 15th will be Greg Stafford and Todd Liston. Chip Dicker is going to be finishing in 16th, and of course Mike Callaway finishing 4 laps down, unfortunately, after causing that last caution, or just after getting involved in that last caution, that last incident.
Well, with that, let's move on to the interview portion of tonight. The first driver up is going to be our number 26 Machina, Donnie Moore. Donnie made a great move to get up inside the podium. Congratulations. How'd your race go?
Thanks. Considering where I started, pretty good.
Well, we saw you, you started 10th, and, to pass that many cars, we knew there were a couple of wrecks there in the early going, and especially in the late portion of tonight. But how was it actually passing somebody? We run a lot of flat tracks here in the modifieds to where you really have to use the bumper. Here, you kind of can keep the momentum up and show your nose to somebody. Is that how you made your passes?
Did I really pass anybody, or did I just avoid wrecks? If I did, it was just getting a run coming off the corners. Yeah, the car was really good.
Well, we saw a couple of times there guys get stuck to the outside lane. Was that kind of the fear tonight? If somebody got to your inside lane, do I race them or do I let them go as quickly as possible to try and move back in behind them?
That's right. That's a tough, yeah. Sometimes you have to consider that, but your fortunes can change in one restart, starting on the outside. Boy, that can set you back. But yeah, all in all, it was a good race. I feel fortunate to get a top 3. Congratulations to JR and Matt Shanoski too for a great run, great racing all the way through the field tonight.
Well, Donnie, before we let you go here tonight, who do you got to thank for your podium finish?
Well, definitely sponsored the race, the Lions Club, and Lowell for putting it all together, you guys, and the SPCA.
All right, I'm going to throw it down to Gary Weaver. He's caught up with your second place driver. It's going to be Matt Shanoski in the 00.
Matt Shanoski started 3rd and finished 2nd. In that case, he did a pretty amazing job. And, of course, how is that car handling out for you tonight on this flat track? Because, oh my goodness, it was pretty interesting to see how these cars were handling on the outside lane compared to the inside.
Yeah, my car was pretty good. I mean, it was really fast. It was a little bit tighter than JR or Mike there. I couldn't do much with them, but yeah, unfortunately the outside line never really came in, and you're pretty much a sitting duck if you're on the outside lane on a restart. As
unfortunate as that is, that one, I believe you managed to get an advantage on a restart, or I'm probably confusing that with Donnie, but nonetheless, you did get the advantage overall, and of course finished in 2nd. That was pretty interesting. Of course, a few wrecks happened here and there, so of course, I believe before we let you go, unless you like to mention anything else, is there anybody that you'd like to thank for your 2nd place finish?
I just want to thank Lowell for putting on the league, and all the guys, all the racers. They're all great guys, and Lions Club for sponsoring tonight's race, and of course you guys for putting on a great broadcast.
It's definitely amazing to watch. Of course, thanks for that, and of course we will see you next week.
All right, take it easy.
So of course that was your 2nd place finisher, and now I believe J.R. Shepherd has been met by Gabriel Wood.
Down here at Victory Lane, J.R. Shepherd, they handed him a Gatorade and he opened it and threw it everywhere. J.R. Shepherd, you walk away with a victory tonight. Congratulations.
Thanks, man. That was a hard race tonight. It was a lot of fun. Really had to drive the car to get it to handle there at the end.
Well, we saw, you had to start on the outside lane. You were pretty much 2nd for the entire night. but on one restart, you got a good enough run to get to the inside of Mike Holloway and send him, backwards, and you were able to get to the lead, and you kept it for the final 40 laps. How'd you get that position? Because we were covering some stuff back in the pack. We didn't even see your move. It was a great move to the inside.
Yeah, I'd seen Mike on the previous restart. Looked like he pushed up out of turn 4 just a little bit, and I wasn't able to capitalize on it. So I kind of set him up for that corner, and the same thing happened again. I was just able to get underneath him and pull it off going into 1.
Now, you didn't have to do much passing here tonight. You started off in the 5th position. You worked your way up into the lead. But the passing that you did, I asked the same thing to Donnie Moore. Was it kind of, you pretty much decided you had to use the back bumper on somebody, or did you kind of just show the nose, like you would at maybe 1.5 miles with the NASCAR cars? Or did you kind of put the bumper like we've used to at the modifieds?
Yeah, you didn't have to necessarily use the bumper. It definitely helped you. But, yeah, you could set some guys up just based on what line they were running, and you could do the high-in, low-out move. Seemed to work pretty good. But, yeah, you had to save your tires. So let the other guy wear his tires out a little bit. This track is it's one of those tracks where you're kind of loose getting into turn 1 and tied off of 2, and then it does the opposite through 3 and 4. So you just got to manage your tire wear and make the move when you got a chance for it.
All right, JR, anybody you want to thank before we let you go?
Yeah, I definitely want to thank Lowell Jewell and the Bootleg Racing League for putting this together. It's a great group of guys, a lot of hard, good racing happens each and every week on Saturdays. And I also want to thank the Lions Club for being on board tonight. If nobody knows about them, go check them out. They're a great organization that does a lot of good in the communities.
All right, JR, congratulations. You walk away with the victory in the Lions Club 100. Congratulations. We'll see you next week.
All right. Thanks, guys. Sounds good.
Well, Gary, final thoughts on the race tonight?
Yeah, it was really exciting, and of course, somehow we've had 2 drivers that nailed the outside wall, and they still kept it straight, not causing a caution. And oh my goodness, I'm surprised that happened, and I'm definitely looking forward to next week, so long as I can maybe get a spot on there. But of course, if not, that's all right, because that was, again, these tracks are just amazing. It's amazing to watch the modifieds. I feel like they're underrated, at least to me they seem like that, because they're just really exciting to watch.
All right, well, on behalf of all of us here at LSRTV, want to thank you for joining us here. And don't forget to tune it in to the United Sim Racing Series in Michigan. Austin Coop had to head over there along with a little bit more of our crew. Don't forget to tune in to them. I want to thank you for joining us and watching the Bootleg Racing League, the Modified Tour here from Five Flag Speedway. Good night. We'll see you next week.